Hi, guys. Welcome back and happy Wednesday. Guys, we're back to recap Vanderpump Rules, which I'm so excited about. And after watching last night's episode, we definitely have some ish that we have to get into. So we have, for the first time ever, two extremely special guests. They are coming in from Access Hollywood, and I'm so excited. So make sure you guys smash that like button, show some love, and I guess in honor of Scheana, and Scheana, I know you're watching. Let's get into some shenanigans. Hello.
Hi.
Guys, I'm so excited. Thank you.
We're so excited to be here. Also, this is like we were dancing in the intro. Good vibes.
So fun.
Yeah.
I love the production.
It's a Wednesday. By the way, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I was just telling Lauren she's my Valentine this year.
Yes.
I think she probably has a fiance that's hers. But
yes, but it's okay. We share. It's fine.
You can totally share. You know, I actually, this morning, I woke up and Jason was super sweet and got me, he got me 24 roses, and I didn't want to top him about like over this, but he got 24 roses and a card. And I was like, this is so sweet. But meanwhile, last night, and I'm going to post a photo later, I ordered 10 dozen because we just celebrated 10 years together, and then another 10 dozen for 10 more to come. And then I show up, like, it looks so obnoxious this morning. I'm like, here.
Yeah, where are you putting 20 dozen roses?
I don't know.
We're going to start sneezing around your house.
Yeah.
Like, all the
Jason just looked at me like, he's like, I love this, but you think that this was maybe a little much? Like, he didn't say this, but that was the look. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe next year I'll just stick with the card.
No, there's never too much love to give.
No, exactly. We love all the roses.
I love love. We love love.
Our love tank is full.
Our love tank is full.
I love this. Okay, so by the way, last night I usually start off my my channel and just like the show when we do our recaps, asking what would you give for a rating for the episode that we watched last night? 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. I'm curious.
If our faces aren't saying it, I don't know, Adam.
It was tough.
I would say what?
Like I'm going to say 4. 4? I'm going to say 4 because we have had some very flop era Vanderpump Rules seasons. So if we're comparing to all of Vanderpump Rules,
yes.
It's not, it's not horrible. But if we're comparing to last season,
especially, it's just, I feel like we know how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
We've already heard about all of this. And so for me as a viewer, I was a little bored.
I was bored. And for the first time, maybe I'm jumping here, but for the first time, it occurred to me that we could do this show without Sandoval.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that. And also, so just like a little bit of history here. I used to be, I was like the first guy host at SUR. And I remember sitting there, I would have to plant my ass at this like host stand, and Guillermo would walk in all the time, and it was what it was. But I was trying to figure out where the table was that Tom Sandoval was sitting with Kyle Chan. And I'm like, this is so shady, production. And they literally sat Tom Sandoval and Kyle Chan directly across from where the group was sitting at SUR.
Right. They wanted to stir.
Of course, we needed to stir the pot.
So you knew them when, Adam? You knew these people. You must have stories.
Oh, we have stories. We definitely have stories. Jason and I just went back for the Vanderpump Rules premiere, but Jason and I flew into Los Angeles in August because Scheana was doing a live show at the Bourbon Room where we did like a kind of little mini tour last year. And we ended up hosting the show with her, and Jason
Oh,
like
I
took care
saw
of
that. Yeah.
yeah, it was so much fun, but
Yeah.
I love these guys. I don't necessarily I got a lot of well, you asked if you could cuss, and I said yes, so now you're bringing it out of me. Um,
I
I
do
got a
too.
lot of shit because at the premiere, I saw Tom Sandoval, and people were like, "Well, Adam, it's not the end of the world. He cheated. Why wouldn't you say hi?" Because I did say, I saw him. We made eye contact, but I
Right.
didn't say hi to him. And personally, it wasn't because like you cheated or you did anything wrong to me. It's just because I feel like we just talk so much shit on the channel about you. And
It would
personally, I'm like,
feel
Fake.
disingenuous.
It would feel very fake.
it
Yeah.
would feel so fake.
Yeah.
Like I can't just go on the channel and be like, Sandoval's a narcissistic pig.
Right.
And then be
be
like, oh my God,
oh
hi.
my God, how
No.
are you? I love the lightning bolts. That's
No.
so
That
crazy.
is the
honestly-
hard part about this job, though. We deal with that as well because we have guests on, and in the moment, we have such great, like, we have great interviews and
Right.
we love them. And then, unfortunately,
They
like, the
do
next
something.
week, they do something, and we have to be honest about how we felt about what they did on the show,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And we get called out sometimes.
Yeah.
People are like, you guys are two-faced, you're
Yeah.
not
Oh, yeah.
honest. But it's like, no, we really are sincere when we are having the great interviews and the great moments. It's just that then we do have to go back to being like the judge a little bit
Right.
of these shows. 'cause
And that's
what we
how I
do.
also felt about Tom when I interviewed him at
Yeah.
the premiere. I was like, oh my God, I talked so much shit about him, and now I have to interview him, and I can't be like that mean. But he like came over and was like, it was just a lot, that interview. But I kind of was short about it. But I needed to
did a
get the
great job.
questions. I needed to get the answers that I knew people wanted to know. But he was, of course, like not owning up to anything. So I completely and utterly feel you on that, because you have to be genuine. You have to be genuine in a way, but you also like can't be that rude. I don't know.
No, you have to. At the end of the day, we're businesswomen. you
Yeah,
know?
businesswomen.
We are professionals.
Oh my God, we're all businesswomen. Okay. Wait a minute. I have so many questions too. Aside from the recap, I just want to pick your brains on a few things. Did
Okay.
you guys see any of the allegations against James Kennedy?
Interesting you bring that up. That was a hot topic this morning at
Oh.
our business
our
meeting, which is a business meeting of two.
Well, we wanted to be, prepared for this,
Yes.
obviously, and we just were talking about it. It's just like I feel like we just don't know.
We don't know enough.
Yeah.
We need to hear more. And also, I'm really big on hearing both sides before making a final judgment.
Yeah.
We need to hear from him what his side of this is.
But
if
I
he
wonder-
has anything to say.
And I wonder if we will hear anything or if Bravo will address it. I don't know.
You know what's so funny is I saw and now it's kind of like the cat's out of the bag. When I ended up coming on here and talking about it, I got a phone call from Allie, and Allie was just like, what Tamara and Teddy said was not true. And I said to her, I said, Allie, you've been nothing but nice to me. And I said, I've been around James my first time going to a nightclub was with James. Like, it's just, this has been like a history. And if you guys want me to take the video down because you don't believe, like the things that are being said in it, then just let me know. I'll take it down. I don't want to sit there and like try to hurt anyone or like kick them while all of these things are happening. Sometimes people lie. And I didn't know what the truth was at this time. So I ended up taking the video down, and then I saw where Bethany Frankel went on, and she said that there was somebody close to the cast who had also reached out to her to share this information throughout the reality reckoning, and that Bravo is protecting James because this is the #1 moneymaker for Bravo. So if it comes out that Bravo was protecting him, or that the cast was protecting him through abuse allegations, then obviously the show would most likely be canceled, because that's going to trigger a lot of people, especially women who have, been through this.
Right.
Absolutely. I actually don't think that Bravo, I think the outside world thinks that Bravo protects these people a lot more than they do. Somewhere like Bravo has a lot to lose. They're not protecting
NBC.
a singular cast member where that can be, at the end of the day, we can all be replaced. And I'm not just talking about the cast. I'm talking about everyone in any workplace.
Yeah.
That's just the facts,
Yeah.
All of
we
us.
all want to feel like we're not replaceable.
But we are.
And
And
the thing is,
DJ James Kennedy is Probably
he's replaceable, just like anyone else. So I don't believe that Bravo would go as so far as to protect someone, especially with such serious allegations.
I agree
don't.
with that. I agree.
I don't. But
I would hope that that would be true, because I think that, yes, I understand that there is the business aspect and a lot of money to be made, but I would hope that there would be some sort of moral and like morals and ethics like behind it. Like, you don't want to see or promote somebody who is potentially, you know, overpowering a woman or
Oh my
you know,
God,
somebody that they're in a
no.
relationship with. Like,
horrible.
right, it would be terrible. So James, we are rooting for you, and I hope the truth prevails. However, I did say to Allie too, after she did shenanigans with Scheana, I said, if in fact there's anything that you said, because Teddy and Tamara claimed in that car from MTV, the MTV VMAs, that you guys got into a fight, they had to separate you and get out, and that there was some sort of physical altercation that happened within that car. Tamara, after meeting her at BravoCon, if I know anything about her, she does not like to be called a liar. So I am
No.
waiting to see
I
what she says
know.
in response to this.
I
But
agree.
Tamara, and I love Tamara. Tamara is one of our favorites, but she also knows to do, not that she would lie about anything, but I do know when there's an opportunity for her to say a story, she's gonna say it.
Perhaps an
Mhm.
embellishment.
And who
Perhaps an embellishment. I
But
like
we're
that.
not saying that these allegations are not true.
Right.
We just have no basis other than what has been
this
said,
one side.
this one side. And so, if this is true, it's so upsetting, and I really do feel so badly about it. I really do. I mean, it's terrible. No one wants to hear that.
You guys, like, I feel like I have like twin flame sisters over here. Can I just come over and play with you guys on Access Hollywood?
Yes, come.
My
Come to the
God.
Access
We'd have
office.
so much fun.
I'm
Yeah.
loving this already. Okay. So back to it now. I also, before we get into the recap, and everybody, if you're watching, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you're listening on the podcast, we are giving away a free Rose Forever. So just drop a rating and let us know what you think. But back to it. Stassi Schroeder ended up saying that she was invited to film the pilot for The Valley, and she said no because it doesn't make sense at this point in her life. Are you missing the Stassi Schroeder energy on Vanderpump Rules
No.
at the moment?
No.
I think Stassi is so smart to not go back to reality TV.
Yeah, I think she
doesn't need it.
I do think that was a little petty of her, though, on the Jeff Lewis pod on the show, where it's like, oh, I was asked, and a little pettiness, but that's why we like Stassi. But
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't need the energy with her. I'm not missing it. I was missing it a couple of seasons ago, but now, like, how would
No.
she fit in?
I love Stassi, and I feel like I get her. I still get her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get
totally.
my fill of Stassi through her podcast, through her
Yeah.
social outfit of the day. Like, I love Stassi, but I don't need her on VPR.
No,
I don't.
it doesn't make sense for her to be
It
on
doesn't.
it.
She's a mom. She has young kids. They're in when you have young kids, you're in the pits of it. You're is that
Totally.
the right word? You know
I
what I'm
don't
trying
know
to
the
say.
pits of it.
Not the pits. It's a good thing. But you and your
You're in the
husband-
trenches.
Yeah, in the
you're
trenches, not the pits.
Not the pits. You and your partner are very much a team, getting through
Totally.
every day. It's challenging,
And she's not going to be at Sir,
Having
looking at Tom
cocktails.
Sandoval in the corner and trying to decide if he's going to come to Tahoe or not. But I do think it would have made sense if she was going to be on the Valley, but she's not friends with Brittany and Jax.
No.
And
No.
she said she's not friends with any of the other couples, and I don't know who the other couples are. I'm still excited for that show because I do think, I don't know, I think it could be fun. I'm going to give it a try for sure, but she's moved on.
I think that, and I always say this to everyone, especially when it's like a first season of a new show, I'm like, we forget, especially the people who have not been around the production of it, how much time and energy goes into the making of these shows. So I think that it at least deserves a chance. Like,
Agree.
these people poured themselves and their lives into this. So at least I'm going to try. I will give it a try, and we'll see what happens. But okay, now to the recap. I have a few questions for you about Tom and James and Ariana and all of it. I'm going to start with Tom and James. I want to ask you, ladies, do you think it is fair that Tom Sandoval brought up the fact that James ended up hooking up with Kristen with his condoms in his bed 10 years ago.
No. And it's classic Tom Sandoval move.
Yeah.
He's going to be taking a little accountability, but then be like, but look what you did. Look at, like, it's so classic. And I was so annoyed when he brought it up. It's a completely and utterly different situation. Yep.
It's true. We always say with Tom Sandoval, so Lauren and I have dabbled in improv and moments of our life. And, you know, in improv, they teach you to say yes and, right? And that's a positive thing, right? With Tom Sandoval, his whole thing is like, yes, but.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like accountability, but you did this, you did that. Even like that, the other thing. And it doesn't work.
No.
It only works in improv.
We're over it.
Yes.
We're done. We're done with you, Tom Sandoval, and your no accountability.
I get why he did it. I do. But
you get why he brought up.
I get why he brought it up.
Yeah.
Because he needed some kind of leverage, and that was his only leverage. But what he's not getting, and this is why I said that for the first time, I thought we could do this show without Sandy. He's not getting that it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. He's not just fully taking accountability. And I feel like we're smashing our heads against a wall, and it's not.
And it's not working.
It's not working. He's not going to change.
Sometimes you have to eat a little crow and you just have to accept responsibility. And unfortunately for him, since Rachel at the time was in the Meadows and not filming, all of the responsibility fell on his shoulders. So it was like double it. But also, I have to say too, you know, I never want to, and I don't think it's a joke. I just did a reading with Gina Marie, the spiritual medium, who was on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And
stop. Is she in LA?
Incredible. No, she's in Jersey. But
I'm from Jersey.
So
where is
I
she?
have to connect you.
Wait,
she literally is like
hacked.
The best, most like, she's so efficient in what she does, and she comes up with things that you would just nobody ever would know. Like, my friend passed away, my best friend, 3 years ago, and she said,
sorry.
You were writing. Oh no, that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but love you, Chelsea. But she said, you know, she's still mad that you signed her pink Converse, and I'm like, how do you know that? And she's like, she's telling me, she's laughing, but she's like, you're an asshole.
Wait, no, we lost my stepdad last year.
Yeah.
I absolutely need this contact.
I swear I will connect you right after this too. It's like she is so good, and she's amazing, and you know, she knows her stuff. And you know, it was just wild because I guess my whole point of this was there was a man who was extremely obsessed with my mom when I was a baby, and he ended up taking his own life because my mom was married, and he was like this, just kind of not to get in this dark place. So a lot of people didn't believe him when he was crying out for help. So I hate that sometimes people will do that for attention, but also you never know until it's too late. When you have somebody who's like, you know, crying out saying, I have had these really dark thoughts. And seeing this on the show, I can see why Lisa had a lot of empathy for Tom Sandoval in that moment, especially because it hit so close to home.
And as she should. You never want anyone to feel that way, and you never want to not take that seriously.
Right. Lisa handled that incredibly well, and I'm not surprised. We've seen Lisa on TV for so long now, and she's just such a queen.
Yeah.
And she's so good at managing these situations.
Yeah.
She handled it so well, and it's so true. I think a lot of people, if you don't know someone that has passed away that way in your life, then you know someone that knows someone, and it's just such a horrible thing. So we all have to take it so seriously. And seeing it, you know, we like to have fun on Vanderpump. Like, we like to laugh and giggle. And when those serious moments happen, it really cuts deep for me. Like, I'm like, wait, I'm like laughing. I'm like sitting, you know, I was watching it on my phone last night, and I'm like chilling on
your phone.
Yeah, I watch it on my phone all the time. And then, like, you know, like whatever I do, have my whole routine. And then he says that, and I'm like, you know, it makes your heart sink.
Yeah. No, and you know, like, there are moments too where we're like laughing and having fun, but you know, I think that that's kind of, how do I say this? I think that is sort of the beauty of an ensemble cast, in the sense that I think that every single person has something that is relatable to somebody who is an audience member or a viewer, and that people can see and they're like, okay, you know. But at first, I got a lot of shit from Jason because we were covering this, and I saw the people who showed up for Tom's party. And I remember working at Tom Tom. I remember working at Sir. My husband ran Pump, like we were just in it all the time. And they reminded me of like the groupies. These are the people who would just yes man you. They would follow you around. They would just tell you how amazing you are. And it's like the kind of friends that I never want in my life.
Right.
Because that's how they were. And I was sort of making fun of it until we got that scene. And then I'm like, oh no, this is actually, he needs at least somebody.
needs it.
So I have to pull myself back here. And like, it's almost Valentine's Day, Adam. Don't be an asshole.
I know.
Yeah.
No. I know it's hard because it's like we have this feeling of Tom, and then but you do want to show compassion and give him some grace, but then it's also hard.
Another reason why I think he should not
be on the show,
step away from this show.
But I don't think he ever will.
Your job, this is his job. Your job should never cause you that much mental distress that you reach that point. Like it just shouldn't. And even if he took a pause, perhaps,
yeah,
it might be good for him.
I don't think that he could let go of the fame of it.
No.
And I think that there's a certain like energy with it. And also, if he was that broke, one thing, I don't like feeling like I'm being lied to on a show like this. And like when he was saying that he was overdrawing his account and moving 500 here and 1,000 here, but then he was offering Ariana 3.1
the money for
million.
the house.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
What the fuck?
So Katie went on Bachelor, one of the Bachelor, I always talk about his podcast, Jason's podcast.
Who
it's
dated
all about
Caitlin Bristow.
It's all about money and transparency.
Hardick.
Yeah. And she shared, I believe he was trying to guess how much they each make an episode. And I believe she said more than 30K.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't quote me, but I remember listening. It was either 20 or 30K per episode. And she said more.
Yeah, I would imagine that, especially after the season that they just had, that they're at least 500, 600, 7 for the season.
Well, the funny thing is that when I was there during season, it was 7 or 8. It was Stassi's last season. We were at Tom Tom, and I was setting up the garden, and she was in right off the heels of a book tour. And that season, she was laughing or they were all kind of making a joke out of it because she happened to sign her contract at $666,000. So they were laughing about the 666, and that was without the social media. And that was season. So the way that they do the pay scale for Vanderpump Rules is sort of like a pyramid, as opposed to like Housewives can negotiate and there's like bonuses and everything. Mm-hmm. Vanderpump Rules, as long as you're a full-time cast member, they get paid all the same every single season, depending on how many seasons you've been on. So like when I used to work with Max Boyens, who also got himself canceled, his first season, and Dana Cathan and a few other people, they made $3,000 for their entire season for filming.
By the way, though, that's still like not nothing to film.
Wait, did you say 3,000 or 30? Oh.
No, 3.
For the whole season.
No, he said 3.
Oh, I thought he said
3.
30. I was like, that's a lot. Oh.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, 3,000, and that was for the entire season, and they get paid half up front, the $1,500, and then the other half at the end of it, they get the $1,500.
That doesn't even pay for your gas to get to all the shoots.
No. It doesn't pay for your, and Max was telling me, he's like, I spent so much money on wardrobe. Like I had to like step up. I had to drive places. Like I missed work. And, like Ken was very adamant about at the time. Ken was like, if you can't balance doing the show and managing at the same time, we will make sure that you're fired from the show, and we will make sure that you are fired from managing. You will be fired. Like you're done. And Max did his best to try to keep up. But then after that, if you were a prominent role, like I have 2 friends who have been on the show since the beginning, and they were taken down to a friend role. So it was like a more reduced role. It wasn't just like a set contract. And when you're a friend role, if you don't actually make it into that episode, then you're not paid for that episode, which means that they have to work in overtime and go to the football game the same day as like the beach outing, the same night as like the house party. They have to make sure that they're in every single thing. That way that they make that episode so they get their money.
So that would mean they're paid per episode, not per shoot.
Right. They're not paid like a set contract, and like if you don't deliver, it is what it is. It's just they have to make the episode.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Yeah, but
a lot of work.
But people want the
I'm gonna sneeze.
fame.
People want the fame. Now, do you guys feel, by the way, Anne, I have to give Anne a congratulations, who is Tom's former assistant, and now she is
Oh.
working with Ariana, and I believe she is in New York with Ariana right now.
And she
So,
has her own podcast.
and we signed NDA's podcast, and I don't know what happened, but this girl found a voice. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't see it on the show, but
Good for her.
she has the mouth of a sailor.
Really, I haven't listened.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, I
Oh,
listened to
really?
the first episode. Mhm.
Yeah, she was just wiling out on it. But
Yeah.
Really?
do you
As she
agree-
should.
And on the loose.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, yeah, she was put in the middle of a lot of shit. And she also really had a relationship, an organic, authentic relationship with Ariana before. And then she had to become like this go-between. So
Middleman,
Yeah.
which is horrible.
Right.
terrible.
Horrible.
Do you agree with Ariana in her place where she is like, she's kind of setting this stance like to Tom Schwartz,
No.
I don't like you. You know, I don't trust you. Stop trying to bring Tom back into the fold. It's not going to happen, and pretty much piss off. Like, are you in agreement with that? Or do you think that she's being a little harsh on Tom Schwartz?
Okay, wait. I do agree with that. Sorry. I do agree with that. I thought you were going to ask about the house.
No, there's a part of me that agrees with it, but then there's a part of me that disagrees with it solely because they are on a TV show and it's an ensemble cast and we have to move on. We have to move on from this scandal. She doesn't have to talk to Tom Sandoval. Like, I get that. There's no mending any bridges there.
Right.
But I do think we have to move on.
Oh, see, I think it's okay she's not filming with him.
No, with Schwartz.
Oh, Schwartz.
Yeah, Sandoval. Yeah. No. Sandoval.
No,
totally.
I think she has to loosen up on that.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, come on.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of find that to be fair. Listen, if I were her, I don't know, because they say like somebody scorned, like there's nothing like a person scorned. Usually they say a woman scorned, but also I feel like, I don't know, like if I was a scorned bitch, like I might be like really, really aggressive and angry. I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. So I feel like for her in this moment, maybe this is so fresh and she's like, right now, you literally were the housing component of that relationship. You were the one who provided them like this place where they get to go and hide everything. And then you would see me and smile in my face and pretend like everything was great. And
I think
I get that. How long was it when they started filming this new season? Like, how long in between?
they stopped. So they picked back up cameras March, April, May. It was, I believe, 60 days.
Okay, so still very fresh. But
Yeah.
I still think the fact, like, if you weren't on a TV show and it wasn't an ensemble cast, like, but the fact that they aren't, it makes it everything more complicated. And I just need a new storyline.
Right.
I also just like, I'm a really big, I really feel like with my friends, partners in this situation, wait, I'm trying to put this into reference for myself. Okay,
Yeah,
so
what
would
are
it
you
be
going-
like if Steven and I were friends, your fiance?
Yeah.
It would be like if Steven and I were friends, right? And he knew you were cheating
Mm.
and he didn't tell. Wait,
No,
Put it-
it's hold on.
No.
No.
No, that was close, but I don't think that.
Adam, sorry, we sometimes have to do this to break it down.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
actually
I need
in
this
it with
in, I
you.
need this in a personal, put this in a personal.
So it's like,
It's like if Steven was cheating on her, but you
Yes.
knew about it the whole time.
But I'm her friend. I'm not like, you know what
wait,
I'm
so
saying?
you're okay.
The loyalty.
Oh, so then
to
it's like
me-
if
Okay,
she was
listen.
cheating on Steven and then you still
And then
wanted to be
Steven
friends
got
with
mad at
Steven
me for not
after, but
telling.
her and her new boo
Okay.
were hanging out
Got
at
it.
your house. the
Okay.
whole
Yeah.
time.
So my feeling on this is that where people are going to be like, these girls cannot do basic math, which we can't. to
We
be
can't. That's
honest.
why we're in journalism.
why-
That's why we're journalists.
Okay. So honestly, Ariana should have known that Schwartz's loyalty was going to be to Sandoval. You know, when it's complicated when your partner's friends become such in the fold of your relationship, you know? And I know that Ariana had a separate friendship with Schwartz, but at the end of the day, Sandoval was keeping the glue. You know what I mean? That was what they shared. Schwartz and Ariana shared Sandoval.
But then so should she forgive
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yes, because his loyalty is of course going to be to Sandoval and she can't be
But I
surprised by that.
do think, and we've talked about this in our little business meeting ahead of
in our
this,
business meetings that we hold.
I feel that Schwartz is trying to grow.
Wow.
We do.
Adam
We
doesn't think
discussed
so.
we discussed this morning, and we decided that we agreed.
Was that a gavel?
It was a gavel. We agreed that we do think Schwartz is trying to grow. He's trying. Do you not agree? He doesn't agree.
No, I listen, I love Tom Schwartz. So I think I feel like I'm watching just maybe I feel like I'm watching Access Hollywood right now. It's
Are we
great.
confusing you? Sorry.
We're being too chaotic.
This is the real entertainment. I love it. Okay, wait a minute. So, no, I do agree. I think that he is trying to progress and grow. And I think that, like he is trying to understand things. And I think that he is being very adult about the way that he is navigating these things. And I think that he was put in a position. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. I had a friend who was doing the same thing when I worked and lived in LA and worked at TomTom. And I also was friends with the other person, and I didn't say anything because it was not my place to say. And I just felt like I have to work with these people. I have to be around these people. And when everything just blew up, I just pretended like I didn't know anything.
I think you did the right thing. The relationship is between two people. I really believe that, and I'm a real stickler on that. A relationship is between two people. It's not other people's business to get involved. It's just not.
But then I look at it from the other side and I'm like, if somebody knew, if I found out that my husband was cheating on me and somebody knew, and somebody who was really close to me knew, and they did not tell me, I think that I might be
of course
hurt.
Of course.
And pissed.
But here's the one thing. It's not like I would understand if everyone knew, because that's humiliating. You feel like a clown. You're like, you all knew that my partner was cheating on me. Not one of you told me. It's humiliating. They're talking amongst each other. Not everyone knew. It's just Schwartz that knew.
I know. The more we're debating on it, the more I'm going back and forth on this.
I mean,
but it goes back to the fact that it is a TV show.
Right.
Yes.
And we need to move on.
We need to move. Okay. So I agree with that. I think that it is time to move on. And, also, I don't know when we got so comfortable. And I think that Tom Sandoval is the third person. I remember when Jack started talking crazy out of the left side of his face to Lisa. And it was just wild. And then James Kennedy, when he got drunk in front of Sir and Ken started yelling at him. And he's like, you little punk ass, talk to my wife like that again. And then seeing Tom last night yelling at her, I guess it's because I remember her in super boss mode.
We talked about this in our business meeting.
I mean, she loved Jason. Until she had Jason, I was Austin, Aaron, Alex, everybody but Adam. And then once Jason came around, she's like, oh, Adam. And then even when I went to the premiere, her and Ken both asked me, they're like, Adam, where's Jason? And I'm like, he's at home on the East Coast. And they're like, is he coming? And I'm like, no, he's at home on the East Coast. So no, he's not coming. And then they're like, well, when's he going to be here? And I'm like, he doesn't work for you anymore. That is not what this is. But it's just, I never had that relationship with her where I would ever feel comfortable enough to be that erratic,
Right.
They do. They have that relationship, clearly.
Well, he was also in defense mode.
He was in defense mode, but also I personally, I'm just really big on respect.
Yeah.
I think that you have to baseline respect other people. And I think especially when it's Lisa, someone that has been a mentor to you, you've gone into business with, who's a woman that you should respect.
And also had your back. She had his back to an extent.
She had his back.
Especially at the reunion.
She never turned her back on him.
Yes. She never said.
And so for him to be screaming like that, that level, and it was aggressive the way he was talking. It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think that it's disrespectful, but also I think if she had anybody's back, it would be Tom Sandoval's. And one thing that I don't necessarily agree with that she said, and I think that the reason she said this is because he was, talking about these really dark thoughts that he had. But when she said, Ariana, it would be different if Ariana wasn't outliving her best life. I'm like, I don't think that one has anything to do with the other. I think that she took advantage of opportunities, and yes, she is succeeding, but that doesn't mean that this situation you know, like still doesn't affect or hurt her or gives her some sort of anxiety or trust issues moving forward, or like, I mean, I would have trust issues after that.
God,
7 months, like Jesus Christ.
No, this still fully affects her. Even if she has all these opportunities, even if she has a new boyfriend, it's still the fact that
Damn the man.
Yeah, it's still the fact that it was a 10+ year relationship and he completely portrayed like the trust of it all. I don't know. It is. I agree. It's two separate things. You know,
I hate though that when I look at Ariana, I can see that she's still in so much pain and there is so much suffering going on, even though she is in this new relationship. And I do think she's really happy. Of course, she's on Broadway right now. All these tremendous opportunities have come her way, which is so wonderful. But I can see in her eyes that she is in a lot of pain. And I
will say Emily's really good about reading energy.
I am.
So as people are listening, going like, why does she see her eyes?
Am.
She's really good about the energy.
And I feel like, you know, we've all had situations. I mean, most of us I've definitely been a woman scorned. And I do feel like the way, I mean, I'm sure you have, we've all had that happen. And I feel like the path to the pain lessening is working on the forgiveness.
Yeah.
And I hate seeing her like this because it's constantly kind of like she hates him. And I get it.
I get it. But I also get the whole house situation.
See, that's where I'm like, this is where Ariana has to, she's gotta, I understand, the thing about financials is we can't really understand the financials. If she's not getting financially what she needs to leave, I get it.
Totally.
But if she's just staying to be petty, that's where is a part of, I feel like, her journey to forgiveness.
Yeah.
She needs to, for herself, not for him. You know,
but I just don't think either of them are really telling us the full story when it comes to the house.
Don't you feel like though, like if you were the one, and this is something that, and Jason and I had this conversation too, like if I was cheated on, I might kind of be petty Betty Ariana Maddox too and be like,
yeah,
well, you blew up our house. Like you blew this up.
But only if I wanted it. I don't think she wants the house.
No,
I think that she just wants, he wants to buy her out of the house and then she wants to sell the house. So they're challenging each other. And now she's brought this to a legal situation because she wants to have a judge implement the partition of sale where they force them to sell this house. And he's like, I put solar panels on this house, dude. Like, this is my house.
Over yourself. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like also why would Ariana, like she's not going to stay in the house, but why would she even want to stay in the house? Because the affair happened sometimes in the house. Remember? Like,
yeah.
So, but
that's how I am. Like when me and my last boyfriend broke up and we lived together, I could not have evacuated faster. Like,
yeah,
I feel like the union is broken.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
The best way to move forward is to move forward.
That white noise machine, by the way, I mean.
Oh God.
That thing would have been thrown down the stairs so quick.
I would have thrown it at him.
That's what I mean. Like all this, it's toxic.
It's toxic.
It's toxic.
It's also like, it reminds me of it's like one of those situations where like, you know, you have like this person and you're not getting along with them and they post some stupid, silly, cryptic bullshit on social media. Yeah. And then you're like, why are you posting that? And then they look at you and they're like, why do you think that's about you? Like, get over yourself. When clearly, you know, it's about you. It's like the same thing. It's like him doing this white noise machine. And he's like, you know, it's not to piss you off, Ariana, like contrary to what you think. I'm not just trying to like upset you, but you are.
That's
you know
why
exactly.
I have a hard time giving him, like, I know compassion for Tom. Yes, he still deserves it, but it's still hard because I don't know. It's hard for them then to move on if they're still in the house. Yeah. But then also not to be like a storyline. But we always have to think.
I know it's a show, and they're getting paid a lot of money to create a storyline.
That is like a storyline.
If they did do probably like the, you know, separating different homes, not filming together, there's a lot less of a storyline. We don't get Anne. We wouldn't be blessed with Anne.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think that all makes sense. And also, wait, I have to ask you guys, what were your thoughts? First of all, I think that it was so calculated. And I love you, Scheana. But Scheana walking out and happening like nobody walks that way to go to the bathroom. That's just not what they do. And also nobody goes to that side bathroom that's in Sir restaurant They usually always go to the VIP bathroom that's right behind, like where they have the big chandelier. So I know that for a fact. So I'm just looking at this from like knowing.
Yeah.
When she walked past, this was clearly producer saying, like, we want you to have a conversation with Tom. And that's what she did. And she called Tom a narcissist. How did you guys feel about that conversation?
Oh, no. Okay. So we both agree that we feel like Scheana is the most to play both sides.
And we love Scheana.
We love Scheana.
But she's the easiest.
She's the easiest to crack, we think. And that's why we think at the end of the episode, Tom said that he's most devastated about the loss of his friendship with Scheana because he's being manipulative.
Yeah.
Because he's like, no one's going to come back to my side of the fence. So who can I crack?
And Scheana is the first person, besides Schwartz, of course. But the whole conversation, I mean...
I don't think it's a disloyalty, by the way. Like, I don't think Sheena's trying to be disloyal. I think Sheena's like a very sensitive, soft-hearted
And they were
person.
also really good friends.
Yes.
And we have to give her that credit where she's also grieving a loss of a friendship. And that's hard. And she's talked about...
accused of some, I mean...
Oh, and also that.
Which... After that, to be fair, people started saying that people started accusing Brock of things with Rachel. People started questioning her as a mom. She already has postpartum, you know, like, what is it? OCD? Postpartum OCD?
Yeah.
OCD? Yeah. And I mean, that's not something, and I can just like, you know, attest to this on the, you know, the fact that that is not a storyline for her. When Jason and I first launched our podcast like months and months before any of this even happened. This was like 2 moves ago. She was talking about how she had postpartum OCD and she started crying on our podcast saying like, it's my worst fears. And I always imagine like when I leave my daughter, the worst thing is going to happen to her. And I'm like, that's just like that's awful. But
imagine.
I felt for her in that moment very much when she was sharing that. I think it's not discussed enough what women go through postpartum. And this is something that needs to be discussed.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, like, I think that it's something new for everybody. I think when we stop learning, we stop growing. And I think that it's always important for us to learn and try to understand where somebody else is coming from and try to understand, as long as you care. I feel like if you care enough, then there's always something to learn. But I did want to ask you both, before we end up like kind of signing off on this, 2 things. One, what do you do when you're a Lala Kent or a Katie Maloney or a Scheana Shay, like when all of this is over, when the show is gone, where do you go from here? Because it's not like you have normal jobs. It's almost like I kind of like Jason did Cirque du Soleil for 13 years and he was a trampolinist. And it's not like he can just go put on his resume, like, I can bounce and do
even though it's really cool.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, or being like a sniper in the military. Like you don't just implement that now into real life and, you know, come home, not real life, but you know what I'm saying? Like come home and like put that on a resume and be like, hey, I'm applying for this job. My skills are I'm a sniper. It's like you learn these special skills and like even being on reality TV, it is something that you are way, way overcompensated for to share your life. But when it's all over, how do you reintegrate into like whatever the real world is?
I think you pivot. And people that have done it really well, like Nick Viall,
Stassi,
Jason Tartick.
Yes, but
I mean, these people have pivoted well after reality.
They've pivoted in a way that they're still influencers and they're still podcasters. And then so that's brings up the whole other question of where is that going? And how sustainable is it to be an influencer? And how, so I think it's a big question, especially how we're dealing with it in the media right now. It's because, you know, you're going to influencers instead of maybe a traditional media sense and you're getting their news there. And it's like, but how is that sustainable? So I think they're going to have to pivot as exactly what you said with how it's all changing.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, you know, you have Scheana who does have a very successful podcast, but it does stem from being on the show.
Right.
And I think it's just, you know, moving and grooving in the way of as influencers are going to have to be. Like 10 years ago, influencers were really not that big of a thing. TikTok 4 years ago in the pandemic. And now look at them. They're making thousands and thousands of dollars.
Millions.
Like, where is that going to
Millions.
be in
Yeah.
10 years? And that's why you need a skill set at the end of the day. Or you're really smart with your money, which I hope these
they're
people
being
are.
smart.
I hope they're investing. I hope they're like being smart about it.
Entertainment is a moving target. I always say that. Like, we're in the industry, you're in the industry. It's a moving target. You never quite know what the right next move is until it comes.
Yes.
Because TikTok's a great example, actually. Because you have all these people who were essentially like, they were restaurant workers. They had, day-to-day hourly paid jobs. And now they are literally making millions creating content in just 4 years.
Yeah.
So that's why I love entertainment, is because you can be so successful so quickly if you get the right gig at the right moment in time.
Yeah. I think, no, I agree with you. I think it's about like timing is actually everything in this industry. And, another person, two people who I didn't even think about this, but like Kristen Cavallari and also Lauren Conrad.
She's a great example.
Oh, look at Lauren.
Lauren is
who's not even in the limelight, really.
She pivoted like crazy.
They had really successful businesses and they were really smart in building their businesses. Kristen Cavallari used, and Lo Bosworth.
But it's also monetizing.
Yes.
It's monetizing on the fact when you are at this peak, it's getting a brand out there. It's getting something. So then you have something to fall back on. And I don't want to give Bethany Frankel any credit because you need to give her some credit.
We need to give her some credit.
She was the queen of that. And she, as she said, she was like the first reality star to do that. But it's being smart about what the opportunity is at the time.
Right.
And
Lala does have several businesses.
Yeah, that's true.
She does.
I don't know if she has what, as well as like, I can see now James with doing his like world tours and stuff, like his big, he's doing a lot. As long as something doesn't derail him with like actual people coming up with proof of these allegations, I think that he could have a lot of longevity in this.
Yeah.
But then like, it's some of the other ones that I really just question. I'm like, man, like when this is, I always say to Jason, I'm like, if God forbid YouTube was taken away from me tomorrow, I've invested all of my money into real estate and that is what, I would not be afraid if I had to go back to a nightclub or like carry a bottle service girl on my shoulder and get back into it. Like it just wouldn't be, I wouldn't, but it just, everybody has to pivot. But we're almost at 50 minutes. And I know that you guys are extremely busy.
I did just get a text that there's a shoot in here.
Oh,
and I was like, oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If they don't know, I'm going to start with you, Lauren, really quick, because I just want to share with everybody because you guys have the best interviews.
Oh God,
if they don't know, will you let them know where they can find you?
Wow.
There she is.
Okay, there I am. Come follow me. I'm really trying. Emily tells me all the time I need to be better on social media, so I'm really trying.
She's trying.
More.
She gets all the tea, Lauren. Look at these.
Oh,
her grandma is a star. So if you're interested
Bachelor.
in older influencers, what are they called? Grandfluencers. Her grandma is a grandfluencer.
Okay, not really. We just recapped the Golden Bachelor, and she's crazy.
So
she'll be back for the Golden Bachelorette.
She's an Access Hollywood star.
Yeah, she is truly. She's coming for my job, basically.
Yeah.
Come follow.
We love it. And Emily, please.
Oh my God, there I am.
There you are.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so on my page, you're gonna get a lot of Housewives stuff, but I also am a correspondent on Access Hollywood. So I do a lot of the mainstream interviews. So there's me and Lindsay, Mariska Hargitay, all my girls.
Yeah.
Claudia Schiffer. We just did that in London. So you're gonna get all like clips of also mainstream. Oh, Clooney. A little bit of Clooney.
Yes.
Jason hosted a party at Clooney's house.
Oh my God. Which one?
He's obsessed.
There's Madison, my girl.
We
Today's
love
Show.
Madison.
I go on Today's Show once in a while, which is like the best.
Because Emily's in New York. So this is
York.
also, we're never together.
Yes.
I'm LA, she's New York. So this is a treat.
Yes.
A Valentine's Day treat. Oh, and then also follow Housewives. Oh, it's already up. Wow.
Oh my God. Up and at 'em.
We are just on it, guys.
We're really trying to build this Instagram page. So
We just started it and it has 25.
100, not 25,000.
No, but we just started it. And that's where all the Bravo fans need to follow, because that's where you're going to get the funny memes and our great clips from our original interviews with Housewives.
And we just started the podcast too. So we were a digital franchise for the longest time, just like interviews on YouTube. So we did just start a podcast, and we hit 10,000 downloads, which I don't think is a lot, but we're moving and grooving.
That's a lot.
Saturated environment.
We're moving and grooving.
It is.
And we have Housewives every week. We'll have Kyle, Aaron from Roni. I think we need to figure that out.
We also do talk girl talk and like our personal lives on the podcast.
We're chaotic.
I feel like, yeah, we are chaotic.
As you now know.
But I do feel like that's always interesting and fun to like hear about people's lives.
Yeah.
Even though we're just normal gals.
Yeah.
You know?
We're normal gals.
But that's why we're relatable.
I mean, I feel like you guys, even though that you guys have to go, I'm going to need to DM you after this and get your numbers, because next time I'm in LA or New York.
Yes.
I think that we're due for a happy hour. I think that we would have so much fun together.
And we need you to come on our podcast.
We're luring you in.
Yes, anytime. Shoot me an email. Honestly, if you guys ever need somebody to come on and join you, I am always here, and I would absolutely love to. I'm not just saying that because people are watching right now. I'm legitimately like, I would love to be a part of it.
Yes, we'll have fun. It's just like how this was just so much fun. We'll just continue to have fun.
Yes. Well, girl talk. Okay.
This was fun. Thank you for having us on. Seriously, this was great.
Of course. And thank you guys. And also everyone who's watching right now, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button, show some love, and go over to anywhere you get your podcast, click on Up and Adam, drop us a rating, and let us know what you thought about last night's episode for your chance to win a rose forever. You can go to the site and pick any one that you want. And happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And we will see you next time.
Happy Valentine's Day.